In this video, we are going to learn how to find the volume of a cone and use that formula. Remember, on mini quizzes and on your test, the formula will not be given. You have to know it and know how to use it. Okay, so a cone is an object that tapers to a point from a circular base. So these are both examples of a cone. Okay, so the volume formula for a cone is very similar to the volume formula of a cylinder. So realize if I just cover up this 1/3, that's the volume formula of a cylinder, pi r squared times height. So a cone is the same thing except for we have to multiply that by 1/3 because a cone that has the same size base as a cylinder is actually 1/3 the size of a cylinder. So if I were to take a cone and fill it up with water, I would be able to pour that cone into a cylinder 3 times. All right. So, pretty simple, just plugging in your radius and your height. So go ahead and I want you to try this one first and then play the video to see how you did. Right, so the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared times height. Again, I like to write the formula first, so I know I have the right formula, then plug in what I know. So we are finding volume. Our radius is 3, and our height is 11. So in a cone, the height is from that top point to the center of the circle. Okay, this outside edge is not the height. So if I ever give you that, that isn't the height. You still then have to find the height, and we'll see that later in the video. All right, so then we just type all of this in our calculator, 1/3 times pi times 3 squared times 11. So I've done it on the calculator with and without parentheses. As you can see, I get the same answer. I like to do it with parentheses just because that's how I put my fractions into the calculator. So our volume is 103.7 cubic centimeters, right? Volume has cubic units, so make sure you've got those units down. Pause the video and try to find the volume of this cone. Okay, so volume is 1/3 pi r squared times height. So our radius is 5, our height is 10. So when we type that all into our calculator, hit enter, we find out that our volume is 261.8 cubic centimeters. Pause the video, find the volume of this cone. So volume formula is 1/3 pi r squared times height. Now one thing you probably noticed is I gave you too much information on this cone. So you really have to pick out what you want to fill into your formula. So I need the radius. So remember the radius is from the center out, where 6 here is all the way across, which means my radius is 3. Remember my height is this distance. So my height is 4. So we didn't even need that 5 there. Trying to trick you. So 1/3 times pi times 3 squared times 4 gives us our volume, 37.7 cubic centimeters. Okay, pause the video. Try to find the volume of this cone. Okay, so one thing to notice is I did not give you your height. Okay, I gave you your radius, but I don't have my height here. Remember, 13 is that side length. It's not the height of the cone. But hopefully, a lot of you realize that you have a right triangle here. Okay, I gave you that right angle as a little bit of a hint, but realize I won't always do that. You have to recognize that this is a right angle. So you can use the Pythagorean theorem to find out that a squared, or h, plus 10 squared is equal to 13 squared. So take the square root of 13 squared, subtract 10 squared. You're going to find out that your height is 8.3. And my radius is 10. So this is what I'm going to be typing into my calculator. And you should get 869.2. And I don't have units here, so I'm just going to write cubic units.